go getting started on quilt number 3 of 12 and 24. I need 5-inch blocks for the centers of the blocks that I'm doing. I have 7 accent fabrics here that I'm going to be using. I need 35 blocks, so I will be cutting 5 5-inch squares from each of these 7 fabrics. And then I'll be back. Alrighty, these 7 fabrics have been cut into 5-inch squares. There's extras because if I cut a strip of 5, I just cut as many as I could out of it. So there's a few extras, but they are all cut. My next step is going to be to take all of these fabrics and pair them up with fabrics that they kind of match. I might save the yellow for the back, the yellow gingham. I might use some of it in the front too, but I'm definitely going to save some of it for the back. So these are going to get cut into 2-inch strips, and they're going to go all the way around to make like a block and a block. So we'll be back. Okay, I should have 35 blocks put together. I finished them up today. I cut the 2-inch strips. I did one on here, and then I went and pressed them open. And then I did the side, and then I pressed them open. I don't know what quilt math I was doing when I was cutting, but quite a few of them were not quite right. Like quite a few of these, I cut at 6 inches instead of 5. I don't know why. And so these need to be trimmed. I did trim the shorter pieces as I went, but these need to be trimmed. So I have 35 different blocks here. You know, they're all just mixed up right now. I'm going to trim them all so they're the same size, and then I'm going to start putting them together. This went really quick. I think it probably took me longer to cut than it did to put them together. I did 16 today, and it took me about an hour. So I would say probably all total for the 35, about 2.5 hours of sewing time so far. You can get the idea of what I got going here. And I'm going to trim these up to squares, even squares, and then I'm going to start laying them out probably on my bed and see what I can do to put them together. Okay, this is the general layout. I didn't have enough black to go black color, so I just tried to shake them up the best I could without anything touching the same thing next door. And then I took and I turned them all so that, looks like I missed a spot here. Where am I? Okay, so I meant to turn them all so that I had these 2 seams facing no seam, because that's easier than trying to butt these 2 seams up together. So I'm going to go back and fix that. I didn't worry about whether they were right side up or upside down. That way, whatever way the baby is looking at it, they'll be right side up. And I'm going to get this together. It needs to be in the mail and be delivered by the end of the month. So I'm going to fix up that row that I didn't do right, and probably the rows after that, because they've got to coincide. And then I'm going to mark the rows, and probably tomorrow I will get them together. Alrighty, how I keep my rows straight when I go to the sewing machine. So each row has a number that gets pinned onto the first block, like that. I know there's 5 in each row. I'll go back and take pictures of each row to have by my sewing machine. And then, so I've got the numbers on there 1 through 7. I just take and I stack them right on top of each other in order. And then row 2. And that's what I do. I take pictures of each row before I go to the sewing machine so that I know exactly which one comes next, and just in case they get mixed up. And then I put them back on, lay them back out in number order, and then I put the rows together. All right, one more little tidbit. So my quilt sandwich is made. It is spray basted with some 505 spray, and I'm going to diagonal quilt this. So I'm just going to roll it. I'm just going to give it a roll. A little bit this way, a little bit from the other corner. And then when I go to the sewing machine, I'll just start probably right there and go across and work it from there. It'll wind up unrolled when I get going, but it's a small quilt, so it won't matter. Okay, can't quilt one-handed, but this is what's going on. Okay, so this baby quilt is finished. This is quilt number 3 of 12 and 24. It is all finished. It's nice and bright. We were a little worried about the black, but the black I think looks fine. I think there's enough bright in there to mix it up. This is going in the mail today. I've already got the box. I've already got the printed shipping label. It needs to be there in less than 2 weeks. So this is going out today. She should get it later probably the beginning of next week. And yeah, I'm totally excited. I did just do the back is just plain yellow gingham and then black polka dots for the binding. I tried to mix up the way the blocks were facing. So some of them are facing that way, right side up, and some of them are facing this way, right side up, and some of them are this way, right side up. I tried to make it so that it was, if she laid the baby down, there would be blocks that were right side up no matter which way it was facing. So this one gets a done stamp. Done. And it's going in the mail today. I'm going to post some pictures at the end so you can see the whole quilt. I did just do a diagonal straight line quilting, corner to corner. Super easy, super quick. And we're moving on. Thanks for joining.